Hey y'all, it's Kasim with Solutions 8, and today I'm going to teach you how to use Google's responsive display ad builder. And in addition to the technical walkthrough, we're also going to go over some tips, tricks, best practices, hacks, things I've learned by making many mistakes, which is probably what I'm best at. One note I want to offer: if you're one of the traditional media agencies that likes to build your own ad packs, I totally get it, I understand it, and I can empathize with anyone who's set in their ways there. The disadvantage you're setting yourself at is if you're giving Google a collection of ads that are pre-sized, you're actually inhibiting your ability to be shown. You lose upwards of 30% of potential impressions, and that's a real number, incidentally. When you're using Google's responsive display builder, these ads become responsive the same way a website is supposed to be responsive. And what's cool about it is it lets Google sort of permeate its entire ecosystem, and you get to see distribution everywhere across all of Google's properties. So giving Google the elements that it needs to create your ads allows for much broader reach, much broader distribution, and even from a reach perspective, even let's say that the ads that you create, could be distributed on the same property in the same space. The responsive ads tend to engage better because Google's sort of building them from the ground up specifically for this space and according to the way that Google thinks people are going to engage. And sadly, Google tends to be right. So just play with the responsive display ad builder. It's really worth your time. It's worth messing with. I realize that it limits some of your control, but it actually gives you the ability to I think, be more creative in certain instances, and then also take advantage of Google's machine learning through multivariate split testing, those types of things. No further ado, let's dive into it. So this is the responsive display ad builder dashboard. It's the exact frame that you'll see the minute you open this up. A couple of notes here is you get to see the manifestation of the way that your ads are going to look. So here's Google properties. Here's a Gmail preview. They're going to have a YouTube preview, homepage, watch page, etc. So make sure as you're populating the ads, you'll be able to see the preview. I'm not going to add a final URL yet because I want you to see if I click on images and logos now, it doesn't have anything accessible to me. And yet if I were to add my final URL, make sure, by the way, always use HTTPS, not HTTP, because even though Google says your ads will run, you're not going to get anywhere near the distribution that you should. Hashtag pro tip. So now that I've added my final URL and I go to images and logos, it's pulling a bunch of images from my site. And if I wanted to scan Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, I could do that too. Now you need to tell Google which of these is your logo. So here's my logo. I have logo selected. This is super pixelated, so I wouldn't actually use this, but because it scanned that's probably our favicon. If I wanted to upload my logo, I could do that here. And then Google makes stock images available to you, which is really cool. So we're going to look for puppies, because that's my favorite. I love puppies. Don't judge me. And let's use that little guy. I wish they had a boxer puppy. That's good. Why is there I thought I saw a cat there just a minute ago. Did I get fooled? Cool. So we've got our puppies, we've got our logo, and we've told Google what the logo is. And you can have more images. You can upload your own images. And this is what I was talking about, as far as your creativity is concerned. You can upload your own imagery. Be really careful here. Try not to overlay text inside of these images because Google's going to have headline and description text elsewhere that it compiles. Think of this as adding, you're giving Google Legos, and then it's building the ad the way that it wants to be built according to the user, the context, the distribution, the search, whatever the scenario is in real time. So really amazing. But you can upload your own photos if you want to upload your own photos and don't want to use the stock images. That's perfectly fine. Now that we have our imagery, and I glazed over that not because it's not important, but just because there's not much that I can do here in the tutorial. Your imagery is going to be relevant and pertinent to you. I like to use things that are really bold. You want to use things, people making eye contact. There's a massive amount of data out there if you have any interest in ever researching this. But for display ads specifically, people making eye contact tend to be the highest engaging ads that you can have. The highest engaging avatar, meaning the person that resonates the most with all of humanity as a near ubiquitous truth, ends up being a 30-year-old female Caucasian brunette who's both attractive and smiling. 30-year-old female Caucasian brunette who's both attractive and smiling. And you might say that's ageism and racism and all those things. That's fine. The data says that that's the person that, all other things being equal, the whole wide world, regardless of race, demographic, geography, socioeconomic status, etc. All of us have decided that that person is the one that resonates with us the most. Now that could change for ultra niches. If you're AARP, you probably don't want to use a 30-year-old. If you're an all men's MMA gym, you probably don't want to use a female necessarily, unless that aligns with the messaging of your ad. But all other things being equal, just know that tends to be the avatar that people resonate with the most. Regardless of what you're doing, eye contact is really big if you're using an avatar. If you're not using an avatar, you want to use really bold colors. We call this the isolation effect. Remember that these ads are going to be shown on a small mobile device, tablet, across multiple manifestations, and so you don't want images that are really intricate and that have a lot of details. As a matter of fact, some of the stock photos I picked here, I was obviously just messing around, but like this one, there's too many colors, there's too much detail, there's too much going on, where a lot of white space is great. This is something that's going to capture your attention. And what's nice is the green, the white puppy against the green backdrop actually allows for a bit of isolation effect. This orange flower, if it was a little bigger, if this were zoomed in, I wonder if I can do that. Yes. So this is actually really good isolation effect. This orange flower here on this image. And the other thing that I should make note of is Google's allowing you to select your 2 aspect ratios. So we've got our 1:1, and then our 2:1 basically, but it's your square and your rectangle. So on any stock photo you've selected, thank goodness I didn't glaze over that, you get to select the 2 aspect ratios, and you get to crop according to how you think those aspect ratios are going to be used. But don't go for too much detail, because you want to make sure that people are able to see what it is that you've chosen. And then also understand that it's real fun to get cute with your ads. It doesn't always behoove you to do so. You want to be as direct as you possibly can. And so, if you're selling sprockets, get an image of a sprocket in your ad. Speak to the end result. What's the benefit the person is going to experience from this, if that's possible to visually articulate. So hopefully this is good from an image and logo perspective. Once you've done that, add videos. Do not be afraid of videos. It's so easy for people to get scared off just because videos are difficult to create. It's okay if they're amateurish. Look at me now. I don't have an impressive backdrop. I have super shaggy hair. I slur my words, and I mumble and all those things. But for some reason, this actually resonates with people. They like seeing natural. They like seeing like a real human, because we're all just real people. So don't get intimidated by videos. Worst case scenario, nobody sees them. And if a bunch of people see them, then that's a great problem to have. So when we go to the videos, I'm going to go to my YouTube channel. You can actually steal videos directly from YouTube as long as you have permission to use them. So there's video number 1. Here's video number 2. Oops. And I've got a couple of videos here, and if I wanted to add more, I could add more. But now I've got videos that can be swapped in and out as additional piece of media is required. Up to 5 headlines, and I would recommend using all 5, because Google's amazing at multivariate split tests, and you're going to see that it actually narrows down really, really easily. So here's a bunch of headlines that we're using for the display ads. I'm going to use best Google Ads agency ever. Oops. This is a great headline, right? Ooh. Whatever. Notice that I'm using title case. As a matter of fact, I need to do this. Title case increases CTR dramatically. It always has, it always will. So don't use title case. This is an ultimate best practice. It is a best practice. Ooh. Why am I still typing? You get the idea. Right. Long headline. So this is going to give you the opportunity to write something that's quite a bit more robust. So, what's interesting about this is, think of this as a long form sales letter. The same paradigm in the headline. You actually get to give them very real value on the front end. And the more you can give, if you think about your ads as a give, the more you can give, the higher the opportunity that you're going to catalyze a click-through rate. So there are 5 things. are. I don't know, that's probably a bad one, but at least it gives you the chance to kind of see the way that this is going to, potentially play out. And then you'll notice that now if I start to click through, you can begin to see the way the titles and the media are being matched. Descriptions, you get up to 5 here too. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me write descriptions because it's already gotten a little boring. But remember that you want to, and I've already entered this, so we'll do. I'm just switching up my acronyms. You want to use as many descriptions as you can. Realize that not all of these are going to last very long. What you'll notice is Google tends to get to what it thinks to be the award winner very quickly. People are going to look at the media first, the title second, the description third. Media first, title second, description third. And so, you tend up, because the media is the very first thing that catches your eye, you go to read the title to see if you're going to be interested, and then the description is where you actually have the opportunity to go and earn their business. Once you have your descriptions, you've got the business name. So we're going to come over here and say Solutions 8. And you'll notice for videos, they're automatically muted, but that's okay because you can see me talking and it gives people the chance to listen if they want to listen. And these, display-based video ads perform really well. We've had a lot of success with them. Formatting options. It's up to you as to how you want to use Google's additional tools. Right now, honestly, I would probably recommend in the very beginning just to leave all of the recommended options checked. And then as you get better at this, you can start to, make modifications as you see fit. URL options for tracking. If you know how to use this, you don't need the tutorial. And if you don't know how to use this, this is not the time to have the tutorial. But let's go over more options because this is actually really cool. So first is you can update your call to action text. So instead of just open, we can see visit site, shop now, sign up, subscribe. So choose the thing that you think applies most and pick that. And I really like apply now because that indicates some scarcity. Download lets them know this is a give. Learn more, it's fine. It's a little generic. Sign up, get quote, etc. And then they've got some language modifications if you want. And then the custom colors. This is nifty. So our main color, let's go get our hex code. And I've got my little hex code reader here. Bam. So pulling a green off my site. And then my accent color should be, I wonder if that gray is going to look bad. Let's pull this. That's better. I'm not a designer, as you can clearly tell. I don't like that accent, but it's fine. With the more options, if you spend some time updating your colors, it's actually really helpful because it makes sure that you're maintaining brand continuity across, the entire user experience. We've really only got those two colors, so I'm going to stick with them and stop obsessing. Google's going to give you some tips up here. You're going to see your progress. I'm missing a description, so I'll go fill out a description. Come on, Google. And then my description should be done. The view ideas, by the way, really, really helpful. I've seen, a lot of tips and tricks here that have been really inspiring. So for the images or the headlines and descriptions, I've used Google's tools, take advantage of them. And then you get to kind of see the way that these are going to look inside of Google's properties, both on mobile and on desktop. And then you can also see how you're just going to have a hard time trying to recreate this yourself, the way that Google has been able to do it, especially with their split testing. So, it doesn't just look great. Yeah, that's all I've got. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments. Give me your feedback if this was, something, if this is worth your time, or if you have ideas that I didn't go over, or you disagree with something I said. Love to hear it. If you liked my video, give me a thumbs up because that's a dopamine hit, and I'm all about that. And subscribe if you haven't yet. Please consider doing so because it will make sure that every time I go live or every time I shoot a video, you get notified. And if I get 1,000 subscribers, then I start to get to go live, which is what I'm most excited about. So thank you for watching. As always, really appreciate you. I will talk to you later.